want y'all to see this traffic. This is July 1st, 2015. Happy July 1st. This is Atlanta. Let's see if I can get it a little bit closer. This is the only reason I would miss Atlanta. This is I-75 North. This is 4:45. I should have known better. Plan all of your activities on your day off in the morning. If you're going to head out and if you're going to come back 75 North. Oh my goodness. 285 is just as bad around this time. It starts getting crowded around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You might as well forget it on a Friday because it's still a booger bear. Saturdays has gotten pretty bad too. Around Saturday's time. But this is the Atlanta traffic that is famous for. And look over here, this is moving pretty swiftly, and the only reason that it probably is that people are getting on 285. There's no wreck. This is typical. People over here lined up like there's a wreck. And you're headed for Kennesaw, all places. You're not headed into Atlanta. You're going out of town, going home. People want to relax on their chairs and cook dinner and talk to their family, and this is what you got to deal with to go home. This is a shame. The reason, this is my opinion, this is happening because Atlanta itself is really a small town. Fantastic. It has fantastic, just marvelous large companies here. Large companies have brought people in to work for them, and it has grown tremendously in the past 30, 40, 50 years that it could not accommodate, the area itself could not accommodate for the boom like everybody. So 40, 50, in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70 years, this is what we got. And I mean, you can only stretch Atlanta so wide with these highways. It's like your home, if you, or even a car, let's pick a car, and the area in your car, you can only stretch out so much in your car that you can't stretch anymore. So that's really what has happened here. The only way to really better the traffic, they keep saying they're going to better the traffic. They can't better the traffic. Only way you can do that is just to go up in the air, and that gets a little dangerous after a while. They're gonna have to come up with some kind of maybe systematically, I don't know what to do. I wouldn't want to be on that committee, I'll tell you that, to try to find a way to accommodate people, to get people home faster. Atlanta should be appreciative. The government, city should be appreciative that people actually want to come and work in Atlanta, because the nightlife is nice, but I don't know. I've been in the restaurants all over and the activities and the events, but after 20 years, it's like I am ready for a small town life. That's why I like living in Kennesaw. Kennesaw reminds me of my hometown in Winston-Salem. The area is nice. It's kind of a little crowded. You can get a little crowded too, like right now. The main street on Barrett Highway is a little congested, but at least you get home in 7-10 minutes. Oh Lord. I'm gonna try to keep this going, this particular video going, until I can see at least Marietta. Oh, do I see Marietta sign? Oh, there it is. Okay, the Marietta sign. See, it says going north. Zoom in, people. We 1:45. I'm sorry, people. My new channel, I just think I'm gonna miss Atlanta so much. I'm just gonna take a lot of videos, several videos of it, just to remind myself that I did make a right choice in leaving. Sorry, really miss my family, but I just want videos of it. So the traffic, I don't want to take any more videos of the surrounding area because I'll be going, oh, I miss that, seeing that, oh, I miss seeing that, and I miss seeing that. So I'm just looking at the traffic. That's bad, isn't it? Let's see. I must talk about my future plans for the channel. What I want to do is set up a channel where I go in and interview the interviewer. I'm not going to challenge the interviewer. My goal is to let you actually see interviewer questions, because I've had one great interviewer this week. That person didn't try to challenge me with difficult questions. He really wanted to know who I was and how much I knew, how much I was going to enjoy the job. He asked me questions. Are you ready to come back to a small area? Aren't you going to miss the big area? Are you ready to work for a small company? You know, and what do you do for, I really like that question. What do you do for fun? And I'm sure he was just wanting to make sure that I wouldn't miss the big time life. And I told him I was really into my family, and I had a little dog that I spent time with, which I really do. I came down here just to go to the events and learn about Atlanta. That's when you're in a smaller town, that's all you hear about. Atlanta, and I have thoroughly enjoyed myself. I felt connected, and the people down here are just wonderful. They are very friendly. I feel when I walk into any store or any place that I'm going to be greeted with a smile. Not every 100%, but most of the southern people down here are just fantastic. They just, I felt, I'm the type of person that I don't live, I'm gonna turn on the air conditioning just a little bit. I don't live a dangerous life anyway. I don't go out at late hours, so I didn't keep myself in harm's way at all times. So when I did go to, you know, just places like the Fox Theater, and I went to the aquarium, just all kind of little restaurants and the malls and things. It was during the day. The Fox Theater was if I did go at night, I took a friend. If I couldn't find somebody, I make sure that the events were in the daytime. I parked. Oh, I got really lucky working for Bank of America. The parking was one of the parking decks that the Fox Theater actually used in the evening. So I had my little badge, and the people recognized me there. So I would go from work over to walk right down. It was it was like a couple hundred yards from the Fox Theater. Right after work, and you know, something was over with by 9, 10, 11 o'clock. I would go right back to the parking lot. The Lord, you can tell, like I said in my other videos, that the Lord has really blessed me. I got to see the most famous magician in the world, and like I said in these other videos, I got to get the name of it, and I'm gonna correct it. I thought that was just fantastic and motivated me, that I knew I was in the right place at the right time. And that was back in 2010. Gosh, I can't think of his name. He's very famous, one of the most famous. And I walked down there in the evening and saw a magic show. And now a lot of his tricks I had seen before, but to see him in action, and the last trick was when he brought that big car. You know, the best trick was he was on stage, and the next thing I saw was him standing beside me. I'll be honest with you guys, I think he has a twin. But you can't think like that when you go to a magic act. You have to enjoy the trick. So if you ever get to go see a good magician, enjoy the magic act. Because I went back and I was telling my co-workers, and one little smart little young lady said, well, did he have on long sleeves, or did he do, you know? And I'm like, I'm just trying to tell you I had a good time. And I enjoy, because I enjoy a good magic trick anyway. You know, cutting the person in half, he didn't do that for us, because we all know what goes on in there. He really did step it up a little bit. He gathered people in the audience and made them disappear. You know, I just don't know if those people were already part of the trick or not. But, you know, he was so busy making them disappear, and you watching the trick, and all of a sudden the people were in the back, and he was like, you're like, oh, there they are in the back of the audience, and they waving at us. I said, I wish I could have been part of that trick. But oh gosh, I just can't think when I'm driving. Driving and holding this camera should be enough. So one day I'm going to make sure I put on my makeup and my eyelashes, and I will sit down and I will have everything together. And this is the first. Now yesterday I did a video and I talked about the equal rights for gays and lesbians, transvestites, and bisexual people. I hope I didn't leave out anybody. Equal marriage for everybody. And I mentioned that it was the Supreme Court Justice, and I messed up on the name for the acronym. I said Scottish, and I meant the actual name is SCOTUS. I just wanted to correct that. I listened back on my video and realized that that was a mistake. Today, Obama, our president, is going to open up ties with Cuba. This is, our president is the forerunner of opportunities for the United States. This is going to be very, very interesting. We have not had ties with Cuba since I have been born in the United States. And I remember Kennedy, our president, was in a heated, very heated, almost went to war, Cuba, for a long time. Luckily, at one time we did let some immigrants in, but to actually open up the ties and begin diplomatic relationships with them, I think that's going to be interesting. Can you imagine what we can learn from them, and what economic information they have, or economic goods they can bring to our country, and what we can offer them, and what jobs we can send over there, what jobs that Americans can have for the not for them, for us. So we'll see. I'm gonna keep you posted. You know what, I talk, I know this is a job search channel. But I want you guys to keep open on all the latest news, okay? And I am going to talk about world news, more world news that's maybe not concentrating on our president, that is just out there in Europe. Because when you go on an interview, I want you, especially people who are going to go out, professionals. I was in an interview yesterday, this past Monday, and at several points of the interview, my interviewer just wanted to chat. I was in that interview for 1 hour. Interviews do not last that long, believe me. 20 minutes, 30 minutes at the most is a decent interview, and you still would not come out with the job. He loved to talk. At this point, I have not heard back from him. I have not. It looked like it's going to rain. This is a very, very dark video. I will try to brighten it up a little bit. But he was a talker, and and I had to engage in that conversation, people. So what I'm trying to say is that when you're knowledgeable, well-rounded, you are a better candidate than somebody who is not. Now, if you have noticed that I have a gift for gab, one time I did not enjoy hearing myself talk. I would let others talk. My opinion to me was not that important. It could slide, and I still don't sometimes think it really matters, because what the person is saying is not that important, so I won't give my opinion. But now that I have gone through the process of a lot of interviews, I have learned to engage where I feel like that person cares about my opinion or not. It is very, very important to keep the conversation in an interview engaged. If you are a boring person, the interview will shut down the interview and leave. Another thing you must do is keep eye contact, okay? With a smile. You don't have to have a cheesy grin, your teeth showing, and your head nodding. One of these days, like I said, I'm putting on my makeup and my eyelashes. And I will show you the do's and do's not, the do and the don't, excuse me, of sitting straight and learning how to look as you look in an interview. Listen, and when you go to that interview, sit up straight. Don't slouch. I was lucky to have a desk in front of me, but ladies, if you feel comfortable, cross your legs. If your dress is a little short and it has that little gap in between, try not to wear a dress like that. But if you get there and you say, oh Lord, I've gained an extra pound and my dress is a little bit too short, put your pocketbook over your dress, so it will, or your skirt. I wore a skirt the other day, and thank goodness that I was sitting in front of a desk, because I looked down and I said, when did this skirt get shorter? But if you feel comfortable just to cross your legs, it's fine. Sit up straight, as long as the upper part of your body is straight but not stiff. Oh, it's getting darker. I'm sorry, people. Just keep concentrating on the traffic. for a little bit, and we will be home. It's just 5 o'clock. Looks like it's going to be a storm. What's another tip? Gentlemen, make sure you get make sure you get your hair, gentlemen, get your hair cut 2 or 3 days, or maybe a week before you go to the interview. If you know you're sending out applications, don't have that really fresh cut look, because it always looks yucky. The real fresh cut look, too cut, too short. Unless you have that great barber or hairstylist that make you look fantastic. After my hairstylist, when she cut my hair, it doesn't look like, oh, you need to let it grow out just a little bit more and then it'd be just right look. She makes it look like, okay, that's the length that looks great on you. Make sure your clothes are clean. Gentlemen, make sure that back of the collar is clean. Your sleeves aren't too long or too short on your jackets, and make sure the length of the jacket is longer than the shirt, and make sure that the length of the pants is just make sure the length of the pants is not too long. I can't describe how you should look. You know what what I'm going to do, if I can find a male model, I will definitely, that is a to-do list. I find a male model. Thank you. Any comments, please rate and let me know what you want me to describe on how you look. I'll be glad with all my efforts to get somebody for you. I'm gonna sum this up in about 3 minutes. It's going too long. You know what, when it goes too long, it takes so long. It just takes very long to upload. I want you guys to see, because how you're supposed to look when you go to an interview. People can tell you, like I said, with the men don't have your pants too long. Take them, if you don't know how to sew, to take them to the cleaners and ask them to do it. They'll do it for $10. Borrow a friend. You're going to the club anyway. Use that money to have somebody tailor your pants. If a friend of mine was here right now, so you're going to use that money at the strip club, go use that money and have your pants tailored. He know who he is. Traffic has stopped again. I got 30 more minutes. Oh Lord, 30 more minutes. I know this would be a 10-minute drive. Ladies, please don't wear those ridiculous wigs that look like you turned around, you went in a shop and just turned around and said, hey, give me that wig. Hey, just put something in my hair. You know what, if you're not balding, and let's be honest, if you're not balding, your natural hair always look good if you're not balding. I understand that some of us, especially African American ladies, have edges that are very, very thin, and we're like, a nice a short wig is a lot better, or a shoulder lift wig is a whole lot better than something you're trying to put on very long, because for an interview. Otherwise, don't go out and get your $10 wig, or if you do, comb it and make it look presentable. You get the $10. It's just okay. I know that's all you don't have a job, and I understand. But our friend's wig, everybody know a friend who has a wig. Go over to Susie's house and get a wig. Okay, so I didn't wear a lot of makeup. know what, I should turn it around because I don't have a lot of makeup on right now. I didn't wear my lashes. I wore my regular lashes, which are decently long. I put on my foundation and my powder just a little bit. I didn't put on blush. I was going to a conservative type atmosphere, so I knew the type people didn't like a lot of makeup. I put on my lipstick and I just looked natural. Now, if you're going out to get a job as a model, you know what to do. If you're going out to get a part as an actor in a production, you know what type of makeup you need to do. Let's talk about those things. If I can point you in the right direction on how to do or how to make up. Oh, it's getting dark and dark. I'm in this video in just a minute. I'll be glad to point you in the right direction on how to present yourself for the part that you're going to go. For. I just got a alert. I'm sorry, I had to stop. Got a news alert. Okay. And news alert was talking about the outbreak of Somalia in Tar Heel. In the Tar Heel. The Tar Heel's in North Carolina. I have to come back to that. And like I said, you guys, y'all have phones now. Hook your phones up to the news alert in your hometown, a news alert on your favorite news channel. So, also what I want to do, like I said, I was going to buy some equipment to interview the interviewer. This is just for you, not to stump the interviewer. I want you to see how good interviewers are and how you can tell when an interview is going bad. What you should do when you see the interview going bad, should you just politely don't waste your time and excuse yourselves. You know, excusing yourself from an interview it makes yourself feel good, and it's acceptable. It's acceptable. And you guys know the right thank you notes, right? We'll talk about that. Thank you notes or email. Oops, it's getting really dark now. And I want you to see the reactions to. I've had bad interviews where they were getting upset and their expressions were angry. I had the good interviews who was very, very polite, and I still got rejected. Okay, so I'm gonna end this video, and once again, have a wonderful, wonderful, successful day. Bye-bye.